So a little bit of explanation to the teams. You're currently in queuing, and what we'll be doing is you'll see there's a locked competition field channel. You guys can't access it, but what I can do is I can move you into it. So when we're ready to play matches, what I can do is I can just move you into the competition field channel. When you get moved, your video will stop sharing. So you will have to go click the video button. And if you don't click it, we'll try and remind you to click it to start sharing your video again. And then after we're all set up, the commentators will give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and then we're expecting you to use your own uh, timer and probably use the official FTC timer that they provide. And then you'll use that to do autonomous and teleop and endgame and stuff like that. Then afterwards, uh, we have on our site that you should have access to through your team account. You should have the availability. If you click the team account tab in the top bar, you'll see a list of matches. And on the right hand side, there will be a column with a whole bunch of play nows. You can click the play now button to open the scoring form for each match. You can input all the stuff into the scoring form and then submit it, and we'll display the results for the match after we get the results from all the teams. Does any of our teams have any questions about that format or about how to access your scoring form or time or anything like that? All right, we're all good.
You're quiet.
Yeah. Uh, I'm just gonna go through the list to make sure we're all good. Trial and error, you guys all good?
Well, you can get tax breaks, but not by much. But you can get way more. Just whoever drives the fastest and whatever.
You guys good, trial and error? Can we get a thumbs up if you're understand
Because
everything?
it's
Awesome.
to have a low battery and they say.
Uh, TaigaBots, you guys all good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
You guys are good. Aperture, good. Plan B, you guys good?
Yep, we're good.
Awesome. And then RoboKnights, you guys good as well?
We're good.
Awesome.
So we have planned 5 matches for the day. We have 5 teams, so that's a total of 7 rounds that we play. MCs, you can take it from here.
Awesome.
If you go to the match list,
Sure.
you will actually see which teams are up for the first match.
So up for the first match, we have 5064 Aperture Science, 8569 RoboKnights, 5309 Plan B, and 81190 TaigaBots. So we're going to transition to competition field and pull you guys in, and then if you'll remember to start your video up again. So we have Aperture, RoboKnights, Plan B, TaigaBots.
I believe we're missing RoboKnights.
Where did RoboKnights go?
They're back in queuing if you want to
Okay.
move them over now.
I will move them. Awesome. So, Ethan, do you have a randomization for us?
I do. Let's see. Looks like our result is 1.
1 stack randomization.
So is that 0 rings?
1 ring in the
One
stack.
ring.
1 ring. And we're waiting on Plan B to do their randomization. We have 1 ring in the stack.
Yep,
Cool.
we're in position now.
Awesome.
Aaron, I don't hear anything on YouTube.
Okay. You should be hearing stuff.
I should be hearing my own echo, which I don't.
Can you send me the link to the YouTube directly? I could probably find it.
I can send
I
this
mean,
to you.
you can just type in Dr. Batanga.
Yep.
You got it?
Hey, Baron, we're hearing audio on YouTube on our end. We're live streaming and we hear it here.
Okay.
It sounds good to me too.
Yeah.
Does
I
it,
think you
does it
might just
sound
have
good?
this thing muted, Dr. Fisher.
No, it's not muted, but it may know that I'm listening to my own.
Yeah.
Thing. I probably have to get it up in Safari or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Everyone else can hear
We're all
it, so I
learning.
think we're good.
Good. I just wanted to get some feedback. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So is everyone ready? I think we're ready to go. If I can get a thumbs up from all the teams. TaigaBots, everyone, RoboKnights. Good. All right. We're gonna count down to start autonomous, and you can start your timers in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, looks like almost all of our teams are off to the races in autonomous mode. A few rings scored already, especially from 5064 up in the corner there. Looks like 5309 is working on placing their wobble goal. It's just narrowly rolled out there. In the right-hand corner, we got 8569 scoring another ring in their high goal and placing both their wobble goals. Looks like a really pretty successful autonomous mode for most of the teams here today.
Yep, we got 2 wobble goals from both Aperture and RoboKnights, and then looks like Plan B has scored one of their wobble goals and unfortunately tipped over the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very quick start from TaigaBots in autonomous. It looks like they stalled out for a bit, but now that we've reached teleop, they are zooming
Mm-hmm.
with a very nifty 3-stage wheeled intake system.
Lots of
Yeah,
wheels.
you'll notice if you watch them, they really try to prioritize going after the rings in front of them as opposed to turning around, or collecting rings in front of them like some other teams here do today.
Plan B taking some shots. And Aperture Science up in the top right is really just zooming around the field. Very quick shooting with what I would assume to be a go build a speed servo powering that.
Of course, I'm sure that would do a great job on the shooter. Looks like RoboKnights might be having some issues in the right corner there. Hopefully they can get back up and run it again soon.
Aperture managed to get a ring out of between 2 wobble goals, which is quite impressive without knocking the wobble goals over.
That is really surprising.
Yeah.
Plan B with a very innovative claw design, picking up the rings off of the floor and depositing them into a hopper.
It looks like they're managing to get that wobble goal back upright to likely collect it over an end game.
That's a
Really unique
use
use of
their
their
robot.
really unique use of their collection mechanism. Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like RoboKnights is still having some issues. Hopefully we can get that resolved.
We're coming into
Looks like
endgame. Plan B has shot down all 3 of their power shots.
Wow.
And Aperture has already delivered a wobble.
like
I go with one of the power shots. They're going for more. Oh, narrow miss. Oh, there we go. With the last ring, TaigaBots knocks down their third power shot.
And that is a wrap for match number 1. We'll make sure to have the results for you as soon as we have them available.
That was a really exciting match. That was a lot more fun to watch than I expected jumping into this.
Yeah, it's really cool to see 4 robots going at the same time. Again,
Even if they're not on the same field, but it is a lot more fun to watch multiple robots.
It looks like some great early season progress from all 4 teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I forget that it's still early January watching these robots.
in our next match, we're going to have Team 5309, Plan B, 8569 RoboKnights, 5064 Aperture Science, and 1632-8 Trial and Error. So we'll go ahead and move those teams in.
I think it's kind of interesting to note the differences between the virtual competitions and scrimmages and what you'd normally get with an in-person competition. It seems like there's a lot less time right now. Granted, this is an unofficial scrimmage, but there's a lot less time between matches for teams to look over the robot.
Awesome.
Yeah, we only have 5 teams here, so they, play like almost all the matches all the time. But this is only a test, so one more thing, Baron, we probably should like mix in some audio from the teams. I mean, maybe I don't know if that's easy to do in OBS, like at a lower level,
Yep.
so we can still hear the MCs, but it would be nice to have some background noise there.
If the teams want to unmute themselves, I can put them on relatively low volume and we can hear sort of the background noise of the robot if they're willing to unmute themselves.
We still need the scores from Plan B.
We're getting an error with that. Failed to submit to database every time we try and submit.
Are
dang
you
it.
logged into the correct account?
I'll check that quick.
That
Yes,
is.
logged into Plan B. Pull up the scoring sheet right now. Everything's filled out. Click submit scores, and it just returns failed to submit to database.
Are you using Chrome or something else?
Chrome.
Oh, dang it.
Well,
well, that's why we tested. I don't know what to say. I mean, we have to debug the. Let's see. I'm wondering if you could send me the results. Like do a screenshot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna add them later on. I mean, I don't know what's going on, frankly.
Yeah, I'm unaware myself.
All right. For now, I'm going to complete this match. And
Yeah,
we're
we
going to
probably
show
should do that.
results for first match. Big points out of 5064 Aperture Science. Plan B's points is an error. We are working to resolve that as quickly as we can. They did not score 0 points. They scored way more than 0 points. We will work to get that complete. It looks like TaigaBots did get a 10-point penalty, probably for picking up 4 rings, although I'm not exactly sure. I did not see it.
It is interesting to see match results without being tied to an alliance. So that's really cool, especially. I guess there's no scouting this year, so that was what I was going to talk about. But there are no alliance selections.
Yeah, some really impressive opening scores from all of our teams. I'm really excited to see what Plan B got. I think RoboKnights Auto looks like a very bright point. I know it's very unfortunate that they didn't really get to complete the rest of the match, but an 83-point auto is a really fantastic start. So can't wait to see them later in the competition.
Awesome. So moving on to setting up for match 2, Ethan, do you have a randomization for us?
Yes, I'll pull one up real fast. Looks like our result is 0 rings, so 4 on the die.
Awesome. So, can we get a thumbs up from all of our teams when they're ready? Aperture's ready. Plan B, did I see a thumbs up? Yep, RoboKnights. Trial and Error, can I get a thumbs up? Awesome. All of our teams are ready. We're going to start you guys off now. Ready for autonomous in 3, 2, 1, go.
Aperture and Plan B both off to quick starts in autonomous. Aperture already scoring a ring and dropping a wobble goal.
Plan B has got their first wobble in place as well.
And Aperture is pretty much done, it looks like. Plan B is working on their second wobble goal, moving it over to that first zone.
Unfortunately, it looks like RoboKnights and Trial and Error are having some issues with their robot. That is very unfortunate to see. Hopefully they'll get it solved in time for teleop.
Looking like we're starting teleop now. We have movement from all 4 teams. Getting our first look at the Trial and Error robot as they take their first shot to the season.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see them line up and try 3 shots, even if not all of them made it in. And we get to see RoboKnights this time. The robot is working.
Looks like they've got their wobble goal. They're just gonna carry it around, keep it prepared for end game where they're gonna pop that over the field wall most likely.
Yeah, I think carrying the wobble goal throughout the entire match is a super interesting strategy that I did not expect when I first saw the game, but it's super cool to see teams like, oh wait, we could just carry it around the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you see really interesting designs such as Barker Redback in their FTC team, where you have teams plotting kind of the whole spacing of the robot around being able to carry that wobble goal just to save time and optimize in game. In the meantime, we have Aperture still cycling very quickly.
Is RoboKnights stuck again?
Oh
It appears
man,
that they are.
Oh no.
that's unfortunate. Looks like Plan B is still moving. They might be having a little bit of network issues, but still looking at scoring those rings and moving toward end game.
Very nice.
Plan B's intake with the claw looks to be deceptively very, very, very effective. As it's beautiful driving, really. From the
Yes. I would not have expected that robot to be nearly as good as it performs. Looks like
Yeah.
we are in end game, so some teams are working on scoring those wobble goals and working on shooting those power shots.
RoboKnights is back in action. We'll see if they can use the remaining 20 seconds or so to get anything done.
Looks like Aperture got 2 of their power shots done in both of their wobble goals, and Plan B has done 1 wobble goal.
And looks like 2 power shots from them as well.
Yes, good catch. Awesome. Good job, you guys. All right. In our next matches, go ahead and preview that. We're going to have 5064 Aperture Science, 18190 TaigaBots, 8569 RoboKnights, and 16328 Trial and Error.
Our battery fell off. We need a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Happens sometimes.
So how do we do that? Unmuting the teams during the matches, that we have some background sound. It would be really nice, I think.
Teams would have to unmute themselves.
Yep.
So that we get some background noise. And if they want to, I can put them on relatively low volume so that we can
Yep.
hear some
We
of
should
their
we should probably
match
do
notes.
that. I would like to test it, since we're testing today.
Yep, sure.
Just a heads up, we are very loud.
That's good. I like that. So, Plan B, do you still have issues entering the scores?
They're in the other channel. You might want to go talk to them there.
Oh, I see.
We are waiting on Trial and Error to start their stream up again, but it may be a moment because they are working on resolving battery falling out issues. At least they
Oh man,
didn't
that
have
brings back good memories.
at least they didn't have too many batteries in their robot.
That's true. True. We had a match at Worlds my senior year with Kraken Pinion where our battery fell out in autonomous, and they just kind of like pushed us aside and did every game objective. We were like, well, yeah.
Yeah, Kraken Pinion's a good team. They can just do that.
Mm.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, will you start your camera for us?
It says no video permission. Hello?
Will you try again,
You
Trial
don't
and
have
Error?
video permission.
Will you try again for me?
Reset the power shot.
Okay.
Is it still saying no video permission?
Oh,
Here we
there
go.
we go.
Look, now it's the
Alright, Ethan, if you have a randomization for us.
I do. This time it is 3 on the die, so 4 rings.
4 rings. Maximum scoring autonomouses up this round.
Yeah, hopefully this is the round where we're going to see these teams put up some big numbers. So it should be very exciting.
What was that again? How many rings?
4 rings.
4 rings. What was that again? How many rings?
4 rings. We are waiting on RoboKnights to place their autonomous randomization. 4 rings this time. Awesome, awesome. And by the way, Trial and Error, have you submitted your match results from match 2 yet?
Us, we submit them.
Trial and
So,
Error.
Plan B still has issues. I checked with them, so they will give us the scores after.
Okay. But I do not have a score for Trial and Error for match 2 yet. If someone wants to look into that.
Wait, aren't you in the shot? Okay. Huh? I don't know if you're allowed to. No, you're supposed to initialize before they randomize. Okay. So okay. Huh? No. They want to initialize before they.
Should be good to just go ahead without the Trial and Error result, do you think? For match 2?
Trial and error only played one match. I think
Could you just go ahead without the trial and error result, do you think, for match 2?
we just trial and error. We only played
All
one
right.
match. For confusion, I did some.
Is everyone ready for match 3 then?
Thumbs up from TaigaBots.
TaigaBots is ready, trial and error is ready, Aperture's ready. All right. We're going to start the autonomous for match 3 in
Thumbs up.
3, 2, 1, go. We're going to start
RoboKnights
the
off to a very quick
autonomous
start this
for
time, looking
match 3
to
in 3,
score
2,
some rings in
1,
the
go.
upper goal. Great to see them really moving this time.
After 7 rings in the, is that right? Yeah, 7 rings in the high goal. Looks like all 4 robots getting some movement out of this confidence period.
That's a great 2 wobble from RoboKnights. Both of them placed very precisely.
Aperture appearing to have almost a perfect autonomy.
But do RoboKnights have their wobbles in the wrong spot?
We've entered Teleop. We're getting our first shooting from trial and error as they send one into the mid goal.
Quick 3 shots from Aperture Science, all hitting the high goal. And it looks like Trial and Error is about to go for their starting 4-ring stack to get more to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
TaigaBots intaking very quickly, looking to score some more.
Unfortunately, it looks like their shooters shooting a little high today. They
Yep.
keep
Three,
overshooting the goal.
three shots right off the rim.
Looks
RoboKnights
like
lining up some shots.
getting 2 of those 3 in. Very nice.
Very cool. A lot of these teams seem to have a pass-through robot design where they have the intake and outtakes on opposite sides, and they all seem to try and prioritize the rings that are on the back side of the field away from where the goal is, because they're easier for the robots to intake.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very interesting this year to see the design decisions made between teams who decided to go for pass-through robots versus robots to intake in the front as well as shoot from the front. So I don't think it's very clear yet to see which one is better, but it is very clear to see that all 4 of these teams have made a choice that seems to be working well for them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there was a point there which TaigaBots had 4 rings on their robots, so they'll probably get a minor penalty for that. Thankfully, they did not score any while doing that, so they will not get any penalties for that.
Speaking of TaigaBots, they managed to knock down 2 of the 3 power shots as we've reached endgame.
Looks like Aperture's done all 3 of their power shots as well, and are moving a wobble goal. Trial and Error is moving their
63-28.
wobble goal as well.
Yeah, right over the field there. RoboKnights going for those power shots in the very last second, try to get one of those down.
Very
Do not
strong
think
match from all 4 teams. It was nice to
For
see a lot
sure.
of movement, a lot of shooting from all corners of the field.
looks like teams that were having issues previously are getting their issues worked out so that the robot is functional. Very good to see.
Exactly why scrimmages are so nice.
All right. We just completed match 3, and I'm going to go ahead and display the results for match 2. I'm displaying the results for the wrong match. There we go. Match 2, we have results. So, once again, Plan B and also Trial and Error seem to be having issues with how they submit their scores. We'll be working on that to try and get the scores rectified after the match is over.
Another huge score from Aperture Science. Things are really looking good for them this season.
Absolutely. Next up, we're going to be playing match 4. Match 4 preview is a very empty match. It seems to be just RoboKnights. This is kind of a quirk of the system we have where we're trying to make sure each teams are playing the correct amount of matches. and we have a very limited number of teams, so we end up with really weird matches where in live competitions there would be surrogate teams playing, but because we're in a remote session, we're just playing RoboKnights. RoboKnights, this is your stage. You got all of our attention.
No pressure. On the upside, it does give the teams who aren't playing this one a little bit of a break, chance to tighten some bolts, make sure everything's running right on their robots.
That is very true.
In a normal traditional event, you have at least 5 minutes of break before back-to-back matches, and I don't think they've quite had that this time. But that can be a good test of your robot too.
Just looking at their robot briefly, it seems that they've stuck with the traditional RoboKnights drivetrain that we saw last year with the pink plate. It's a very good-looking robot, if I do say so myself.
Definitely agree there. It's good to see some more diversity in controllers that are legal this year. Kind of gives teams a little more options in terms of what they like and what they can run with.
Awesome. So I need to do that. All right. Welcome to match number 4. We have RoboKnights and RoboKnights and RoboKnights and RoboKnights. That's it.
Just Robot Knights.
So if you've got an randomization for our team, Ethan?
Yep. It's 5 on the dice, so 1 ring. I guess I could just roll 0 to 3. That'd be the same thing, but
it would be. This will work for now. All right. Match 4. Our team ready. Awesome. All right. If you guys are ready, we're going to run in 3, 2, 1, go.
There we go. Very nice, quick, autonomous. Yep.
Yeah, RoboKnights has had a consistently good autonomous all day today. It's very encouraging to see.
Yeah, it looks like a 1 wobble goal, 3 in the high goal already, and taking their
gorgeous
4th.
deployment of that drop-down intake.
Mm-hmm.
I
It is
really
a very
like
pretty
drop-down
robot.
intakes in this game. I think drop-down intakes are a super great way to get rings that are otherwise very difficult for other robots to reach. Having one to reach into corners and grab rings that are, right beside you without having to move the robot unnecessarily.
Yeah, those reactive lights do look really cool. I would imagine they kind of give the drivers some cues based on how many rings they have, or what period the match is in right then.
Yeah.
The system of belts is really doing its job here.
Mm-hmm.
Moving the belts fairly seamlessly from that intake into their hopper.
Yep. 2 more rings in the high goal for the 4 RoboKnights. Look like they're working on intaking a 3rd ring now to move to shoot it.
They're doing a great job with their drivers knocking down the rings before they can get past top field, giving them less distance to drive.
I notice a lot of people drive Mecanum in a very kind of planar XY direction mode, but RoboKnights do a really good job of driving their robot like it's a Mecanum drivetrain. They can go anywhere.
Speaking of Mecanum wheels, I'd love some confirmation on this because I really can't tell from the stream. So are they using Mecanum wheels on their intake?
It does kind of look like that.
They do look like AndyMark HD Mecanums, which would be a really interesting use of them. I know vectored intakes are common in FRC, but you don't really see many of them this year. So
we'll make sure to ask them after this match.
For sure. Looks like they did a quick rotate to grab another ring to shoot there. Something I don't see a lot of teams do, but I think this can definitely be worth it depending on the situation. And definitely hitting some angles that would be really hard to get rings at without a fold-out intake.
For sure, yeah, they're lining up for even more shots in the high goal. Their shooter's been fairly consistent this match.
Yep. It's not the fastest shooter, which I like. Definitely within that 16-foot rule. But it's still very consistent.
And it looks like that is the end of the match. Good
All
job,
right.
guys.
Yeah, very solid match from RoboKnights.
For sure.
All right, we're going to move to results from match 3. I check out the results from match 3. Big score from Aperture Science, 338. Very impressive. Once again, we do have an issue with trial and error scoring. Same with that we're working through with Plan B. We are working to get that resolved as soon as we can. It might not get resolved by the end of matches today, but we will update the scores on the website after the event is over if we cannot get it done.
Yeah, you can really see the importance of the randomization in scoring capacity. If you look at Aperture score, that's a fantastic auto score of 119, which really isn't achievable with other randomizations. So
Very impressive. You can also see that both Aperture and TaigaBots got a 10-point penalty. The most likely cause of that is probably holding 4 rings. I know that's why TaigaBots got it. I don't know what caused Aperture to get that penalty, but the scores could be even higher without those penalties. Excellent to see. All right, in our next match, we are going to have in match 5, not only RoboKnights, surprisingly. We have Trial and Error, TaigaBots, Plan B, and Aperture Science.
Almost 66%. Yeah. So we'd probably take it. Well, between that and shortening the armor, I think we'll get to the solution.
Oh no. I need to add one.
That's better. Yeah, you probably want to go away from that paracord because it stretches a little bit. Use something with Kevlar.
So we are waiting on both TaigaBots and Trial and Error to turn on their camera.
That's what I thought. Come on, guys, set it back up. We're waiting on us.
Which one are we? 5 and Jordan.
Awesome. Looks like we got Trial and Error. And here comes TaigaBots. Good to see.
Wait, do we knit? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This will be match 5 of our Ultimate Goal Streaming test scrimmage. Testing out this new live streaming system to allow teams to have a little bit more of the competition feel. Being able to see other robots compete and compete alongside other robots while still being COVID safe.
How many matches are we playing today?
We are going to be playing a total of 7 matches, and this is match 5 that we're on right now.
All right.
297. 297.
It is really crazy if you like compare this to a traditional event, even with 2 fields, how fast matches are running.
Yeah. Before we get into match 5, I do have the results for match 4. I can display them here. It's RoboKnights with a score of 138. That's really good. Lots of consistent high goal shots in there. Not the fastest shooter, but they were reliably hitting a lot of them. And still a really good auto performance.
RoboKnights really crushing the competition this match.
Yep.
For sure.
Over on the Red Alliance, you also had a tie for Robot Knights with a 138.
124, that was literally all driving.
We're going back to match 5 now. Ethan, do you have a randomization for this match for us?
I do. We got 4 on the die, which is 0 rings.
No rings.
No rings.
Then as soon as all of our teams are ready and give us the thumbs up, we'll go ahead and start the match.
Thumbs up, guys.
Thumbs up from Aperture, Trial and Error, TaigaBots, and Plan B. We're all ready. Awesome. So we will start this match in... Oh,
wait.
Aperture is canceling it. Aperture says no.
I took my thumbs back.
They are hastily fixing something.
Yeah.
We will wait. They are now
And
We
they
ready.
have the
look like
thumbs
they're
up
back.
again.
All right, we're ready from all the other teams as well to make sure they didn't mess something up during that rapid pause. TaigaBots is ready. Plan B is ready. Trial and error, you guys ready? Awesome.
There we
Everyone
go.
is now ready. Provided we don't have any last minute stops, we're gonna start this match in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we
Looks
have
like
motion from all 4 robots. Promising sign.
Plan B already with 3 in the high goal, looks like.
Very
That
nice.
really cool shooter being really consistent.
They have a linear indexer or a trigger for their shooter. A lot of teams are doing rotation based on servos, but they have decided to go for a linear pusher to push
Yeah.
rings into the shooter. Very cool to see. Different approach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it looks like we're going to be moving into the teleop period here as team and players start to deposit rings onto the playing field.
Yeah.
TaigaBots already scoring 3 into the high goal. Their shooter is working very well today.
Yep, getting right up close and personal with that human player station to get those rings as fast as possible. Plan B might have one stuck. Looks like they just got it out of their robot. Getting ready to grab with that claw, I'm sure.
Trial and error preparing to shoot.
Getting one in the middle, which I believe this year gets points for your alliance if you're remote, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Makes sense. Aperture looks like they're lining up to get another set of 3 in the high goal. Back at it with their pass-through design.
TaigaBots really showing off that extra speedy drivetrain as they maneuver around the field to pick up rings.
For sure. Plan B, right up next to that human player station, grabbing, it looks like a couple more rings, getting ready to go back and likely shoot another 3 into the high goal. Looks like they're trying to rewrite that wobble goal that we know knocked over an autonomous. Another really clever use of a mechanism.
For
Yep.
these wobble
Not much to
goals,
say about Aperture. They're just cycling like a champ.
Yep.
they really like to tip over and not stay up straight. And we have started endgame now, so teams will be going for the power shots and wobble goals. Aperture has hit all 3 of their power shots, I believe, while TaigaBots has hit 2 of theirs.
Plan B
Looks
also
like
with
they
2 in
may
the
be
first
going for the
wobble.
third.
That fold out intake really letting them get up in the corner there and grab another ring they wouldn't be able to get to.
Looks like Plan B just got both their wobble goals outside of the
Looking,
playing field, so great job from
yeah,
them.
great job from a lot of the teams here today.
Yeah, it looks like Aperture didn't actually get all 3 wobble goals the first time because they went and shot another ring at it. So they might have gotten all 3 now. It's hard to tell, but I think they did. Also impressive that Plan B and TaigaBots both got 2 power shots as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think being able to hit power shots is really just a testament to the skill of the drivers here today. I know a lot of teams have started trying to create autonomous programs just because shooting them down consistently through straight driver skill is so hard.
It is tough. Absolutely.
Next 2 matches in a row. No, don't worry about it. Reset the log. We can watch the video.
Awesome. So now that that match is over, we're going to wait for scores to come in. But while we are, I can go ahead and preview the next match. Next match, we're going to have Aperture Science, Trial and Error, Plan B, and TaigaBots. I think this is the exact same lineup as teams that we had last match in this match, just in a different order. It is. It's the same thing.
All right. Better not pick up those robots.
So we'll give them a couple minutes to reset, and then we will start our match 6. I will go ahead and show results for match 5. Match results for match 5 are up here now. We have trial and error at 0. That is an error. We are working to resolve it, but it is currently not resolved. We have TaigaBots with a good score of 110. That's up close near their highest score that they have done for this scrimmage. Very impressive. Plan B has 159, getting a lot of points in endgame if you'll notice from their wobble goals and power shots. And then Aperture, again, massively impressive at 312. That is their second match that has been over 300 points. And they had another one at 297 that was right below 300 points. Super
Yeah,
cool robot.
TaigaBots hitting 110 with a 0 in auto is very impressive to me. I think that 90 in teleop shows the robot has pretty great cycling potential.
For sure. Yeah, you can't. It is cool to look at. There's not a huge difference between TaigaBots and Plan B's scores, but the way they got those scores is really different. TaigaBots had nothing in autonomous and only 30 in endgame, and most of their points were in teleop, where Plan B really hit auto and endgame really hard, did really well there, and ended up getting more points.
Yeah. If TaigaBots could get a solid autonomous working, they could be scoring really high matches. I
For
hope to see
sure.
that from them in the future.
Absolutely.
All right, do we have a randomization for match number 6, Ethan?
Yes, believe it or not, we got 1 on the die, which also means, again, a 0.
0 rings. We're just running the same match over again.
We are. What are the chances?
Well, it'll be really interesting to see the differences in scores between these two matches, because we're running the exact same match with the exact same teams with the exact same people. Let's see how much their scores will vary.
Yeah.
All right, are all of our teams ready? Aperture says they're ready. Plan B is not ready. TaigaBots is ready. But we will wait till Plan B says that they are ready to go. And if your team wants to unmute yourself during the match, I can put you guys on pretty low volume, and then you can provide some background noise while we talk over it.
Looks like we have the thumbs up from Plan B.
Plan B is ready. Can I get confirmation from all the other teams that they are ready? TaigaBots, Aperture, Trial and Error, you guys good? Do not have confirmation from Trial and Error. Is their stream frozen?
It looks like it to me.
It might be.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Took me a minute to realize it because they're all in very natural positions.
Yeah.
Start practicing.
We'll give it a couple minutes. See. Oh,
Oh.
looks like they're back.
Back.
You guys good at Trial and Error there?
We have not 1 but 2 thumbs up from Aperture.
2. Trial and Error
Always.
is ready. TaigaBots is still ready. Plan B, you still ready? Alright, we will start this match finally in 3, 2, 1, go.
I believe Trial and Error's camera froze again. But, oh, nope, we're back. Aperture
Seems very
3
laggy.
quick shots into the high goal.
Looks like Plan B just narrowly missing their high goal shots this time. But moving their second wobble goal over into the zone there.
Aperture Science is currently bored. They have shot all of their rings and moved all their wobbles, and they are ready for teleop to come.
Yeah, I really like how Plan B is using their 1 claw mechanism as kind of a, I guess, universal mechanism. They're using it to both pick up rings and they're using it to move those wobble goals from autonomous. So it's just really interesting how much value they're getting out of it.
Yeah, we see
Trial and error.
TaigaBots absolutely attacking the rings coming out of the chute. They are going after it.
Yeah. TaigaBots seems like with a lot of small optimizations, maybe to their intake and how fast they gain control of the rings, it seems like they could be really, really deadly in the telling out period.
Absolutely. And there's absolutely time for a lot of those small modifications and sort of refinement to really happen before the season starts in full force.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It'll be
Looking like
another
Plan B is
couple
lining up.
weeks before these teams have their first real qualifier in
Yeah.
North Carolina. These are all North Carolina teams, and so they'll have a couple more weeks. I think the first qualifier will be at the end of January, beginning of February.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see how far these teams have come already, and I have high hopes for all of them in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing some really
Especially
good
that.
stuff today.
Yeah.
Looks like Plan B might be getting ready with their wobbles for endgame.
Looks like Aperture's lining up to hit those power shots and already deploying their wobble goal grabber.
Aperture has 2 out of 3 power shots knocked down.
Yeah, very interesting interaction with Plan B, where one of the shots actually knocked over 2 of the rings. I know that's been a point of controversy in the FTC community with the Roosevelt power shots hitting more than one ring down. So.
Aperture actually managed to hit the 3rd power shot over the last possible second. They were
Wow.
kind of had a disadvantage because when they tried to throw their first wobble go over the wall, it actually bounced back inside the wall, and they had to try and redeploy it, re-grab it, and re-put it back over the wall after they were done. Very cool.
You guys got one minor penalty at a time because you had a ring leaning against your robot while you're
All
shooting.
right. I'm going to swap to see the next match preview. That was match 6. This is our final match, match 7. Well, we'll see RoboKnights again after their 2-match absence. We have Trial and Error, Plan B, TaigaBots, and the aforementioned RoboKnights.
Who's the human player this time?
Is
Go
the human
ahead
player able to
and
not
move
drop
the
it then
teams.
when it's that close? Because that's it rolls right onto it.
Okay, roll over then when they're getting ready to shoot. They don't have to drop it immediately.
Okay.
But incidental contact is no longer a penalty. They updated the rules, but because it was being supported by the robot.
So if there's like if a wheel's sitting on a ring, that doesn't count. But
I was just wondering if there was something for us to consider with the human player. If they hold it so that it doesn't happen again.
I'm a speed run.
Make sure you have 10 rings.
you should have 3 up there, right?
Yeah.
We got 3 robots on the field.
I'm a speed.
While we're waiting, I believe we had a question for RoboKnights, and we wanted to know, is your intake, your fold-out intake, is that made out of mechanism wheels?
It is not actually. These are custom molded silicone wheels that we molded ourselves. And so we molded them instead of with straight ridges on them, we have that in the middle. But on the sides, we have them kind of helical so that they work kind of like using a mechanism wheel on a intake, but they're compliant as well, which is kind of cool.
That is sweet.
That is awesome. Wow, thank you for the close-up. Really interesting stuff there.
I think we're all too young to be judges, but if we were, I think you'd get some real points there.
Awesome.
Awesome. We have Trial and Error back in as well. They were having some stream trouble issues. We lost connection with them earlier.
Yeah,
so.
I think we're back on my phone. Apologize for that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Cool. All right. Looks like Plan B is working on their robot for a bit, so I don't think we'll be ready for a couple more minutes. In the meantime, I can check to see if we have scores for previous match. It looks like we do. So scores for match 6 are live. We have Aperture Science with 292. Very impressive. Trial and error. We seem to have fixed the issue that was causing them to be able to not submit scores earlier. They have a 37. We have Plan B with 105 and TaigaBots with 110.
Plan B has been consistently killing the in-game section today. It's
Mhm.
been really impressive to see.
And
TaigaBots with the same teleop score, same end game score as we saw last time.
speaking of consistency, we have TaigaBots with the exact same score as the match previously. So we were
Yeah.
talking about how teams were getting their scores and how they were consistently, because we were running basically the same match with the same team, the same setup. TaigaBots has the exact same score.
Apparently, you switch back to a live
Yep.
window. Yep. It's getting boring watching just the scores.
Okay. Thank you.
While we're waiting, I mean, ask the teams if they want to tell something or, I mean, whatever.
Sure. So we've already heard from RoboKnights today. Does Trial and Error have anything they want to talk about with their robot in particular? Any interesting features they want to tell us about? They are currently muted.
Like, so this is how Robo works. So we're gonna start at a second. It intakes it, right? It brings it here, and then we have an angle shooter that basically just angles it. And this is our arm. That's basically it. Yeah. Thanks.
Very cool.
The speed run robots overview.
Huh?
Hey, you only get so much time in judging now, Ethan. You gotta
True.
get the
Judging?
robot out fast.
Oh, my fault.
This isn't actually judging. We aren't running judging
No, no.
here.
Could you question, please? My fault. We're like, what did you say? What was the question? Sorry.
No, it's fine. We're not actually running judging. We just wanted to know if you had anything cool you wanted to talk about your robot
Oh,
while we're waiting on Plan B to fix theirs.
well, this angle thing's kind of cool. So like, it's we don't have any program. Okay, so yeah, this angle thing's probably like the coolest thing on our robot. So it's like, was that an axle, right, Shawnee? So it's connected to that, and then there's another axle on the other side. Yep. So that's like to support it, right? And then it goes up and down. It goes up and down for the power shots with like the mid goal, the high goal, so you can have like different positions, right? But a robot can stay in the same spot. Yeah, I'd say that's the most interesting part of it.
Very
Yep.
cool. Thank you guys for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
Looks like Plan B has tools out. They're still working on their robot.
Yes, we burnt out a servo. We're just swapping it quickly.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Which servo did you break?
Our main scoop servo.
That would cause a hindrance to your robot's ability if it is the main scoop. Good luck in getting that fixed.
Yeah, we should be almost finished here.
Cool. While we're waiting, should we ask the same question of TaigaBots as we did trial and error? So, TaigaBots, do you have anything interesting or cool you want us to show about our robot about your robot while we are waiting?
I got it. I got it.
Hey, guys, you want to talk about your robot?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the camera over to the robot and show you.
You need to tell me which way to aim it.
Okay.
Don't.
So basically, we have a pass-through robot. We have a angled shooter. We have our intake that flops down like this. It goes into our indexer, which holds 3 rings. We have a servo, and then we have a carbon fiber shooter, so it's light and also holds the vibration. And then we have a Goboda 1-to-1 Yo jack motor to shoot.
Hold on a second.
Very cool.
There we go.
How did you
Then
fabricate
you
your
have a
shooter?
wall arm that flips
Hey, they're
over.
asking you a question.
What is
Say the
it?
question again?
How did you make your shooter?
We use Fusion 360 to CAD it, and we have a built-in motor mount with our motor in it.
That's sweet.
We have a servo under it with all of our wires to lift it up.
Very cool.
Come here.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Oh yeah, that thing broke.
All right. You know how hard it is to aim the camera? Well, we also have it.
And you have odometry wheels there? Are you using odometry wheels?
Do we have an update from Plan B?
Plan B is currently working on fixing a servo. I'll let them talk and see how they're going through it.
Okay. Are they close to being done? I hope so.
Maybe a minute or more, or a minute or less. Sorry.
That's fine.
I don't know if you can see if there's a dog on the trial and error stream. It's very important.
Of course.
Is that legal?
If it fits in 18 inches.
Wouldn't that be considered an animal product?
I mean, gluten-free let dogs on their field for
That's
several
true.
years. And we saw how that worked for them. So
I hope the dog will not chase the rings.
Oh, that's an interesting
this
point.
could be an Airbud situation where the dog is scoring the rings.
If you can train the dog to throw the rings with the power shots, I'd be very impressed.
Yeah, if it completes the objectives, I don't have any qualms. I think that's an impressive enough feat.
Yeah, during a regular tournament, you will have a lot more time to fix the robot because we have a lot more teams and there will be time and space between individual matches.
Yeah.
While we're waiting, let's see if Aperture's still around. We can ask them about their robot.
They bring us in.
Hello, is Aperture there?
Yes. Hello.
We are waiting for Plan B to fix a servo, and while we are waiting, we're wondering if you guys want to tell us anything about your robot and talk about any cool aspects of it. Show it to us.
We're going to switch cameras here.
It's reversed, but that's okay.
So this is the robot. The path of the ring takes. So like it goes in through the intake and then up this like thing we call the elevator.
Can't hear you. Be louder.
Oh, okay. The path that the ring takes, so it goes in through the intake, and we have this like shield here for stacks, and then it goes up this thing that we call the elevator, and into the spot to be shot, and then here's the shooter. It's just a wheel, and then we have a flywheel shooter here, and it's just like resting on this plate, and then it goes and gets shot out.
Very nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is that Kydex on the robot?
Is that a question about Kydex?
Yep.
Yes, Kydex.
Has Aperture named their robot yet?
TaigaBots has a question. They asked, has Aperture named their robot yet?
Have we named a robot yet?
Oh, Daffy. Okay. Okay. I don't.
Just make it happen.
Say it.
Sit down, sexy.
It should be named Totoro. That's our answer. We think that because it holds the wobble upside down and it looks like an umbrella, like when Totoro's holding the little umbrella leaf thing.
Seems reasonable to me.
Awesome. It looks like Plan B has got their server replaced, so we're gonna go back to our match. Thank you guys for talking about your robot. I think we're about ready to start a match 7. Plan B has a thumbs up. Can we get a randomization for match 7, Ethan?
Absolutely. Looks like our die landed on 5, so that'd be 1 ring.
We haven't seen RoboKnights in a few matches, so really looking forward to seeing what they can do here.
Awesome. Can we get a thumbs up from the teams when they are ready? Looks like everyone is ready. Is Plan B ready? Awesome. We are all ready. We're going to be starting match 7 in 3, 2, 1, go.
Looks like we've got movement from all the teams on the field in the autonomous period. Getting ready to shoot those rings.
Whoa, TaigaBots sending some shots into orbit there.
A little excited there. Looks like RoboKnights have their first wobble goal scored. Working on the second one there. Oh man.
Close
Just
miss.
missed it.
It is very impressive to see kind of the evolution of autonomous movement in FTC over the past few years. You're seeing movement here that really wouldn't be possible even just like 3 years ago maybe. So really cool stuff.
Once again, Plan B, great autonomous, getting both wobble goals to where they need to go.
Oh no.
We're seeing RoboKnights keep with that strategy of knocking the rings down before they make it past the half field. Those custom intake rings, as we discussed earlier, in action here, looking to line up some shots.
RoboKnights seem to have a little bit of a disadvantage when shooting because they have their wobble arm sticks out of their robot, so they have to keep that behind the white line as well.
Oh, speaking of that, they actually just blocked one of their shots with that wobble goal arm.
Unfortunate.
It is quite unfortunate. TaigaBots still
Okay,
aggressively grabbing rings and shooting them in.
we have some movement from trial and error. Let's see what they can do here.
Great to see Trial and Error grabbing one of those wobble goals. I'm sure getting ready to score it as we approach the end game period. Plan B looks like they're lining up for those power shots. Getting their spinner spun up to shoot. As soon as endgame hits, RoboKnights looking to grab that wobble goal.
Wow, a perfect 3 for 3 on the first try from TaigaBots up in the upper right with
That's
their
super impressive.
power shot. Yeah,
They're
very
just
great.
grabbing more rings to get back to shooting them high goal.
We have some spinning by RoboKnights.
Can't tell if that's a disconnect or
For a victory there.
victory dance. We'll go with
Maybe
victory
it's
dance.
both.
Pog.
Looks like that's it for our match. Definitely a good showing from all of the robots here.
Yeah, both in this match
Our
and
intake
overall
belt
today.
came off, so
Yes.
we couldn't take any rings.
Unfortunate.
Intake failure. Darn.
Yeah, but it's exactly what scrimmages are for. Just a good chance to test your robot and see if it stands up to the rigors of competition.
So that was match 7 out of our total 7 matches. You can stick around to see the point results from this match. We're getting them in. They'll be finished soon. But we want to say thank you to all the teams for helping us test our system, and it's awesome to see your robots. I think it's really awesome to be able to see, 4 robots competing side by side. Again, even though we cannot have live in-person competitions. Hopefully this was a chance for you guys to test your robot and also test it playing with other teams. Hopefully you'll communicate with other teams and congratulate them and stuff like that. We hope that this was enjoyable for you, and we hope that it was also enjoyable to watch. We're hopefully going to be doing more of these online things, but we don't know when or in what format. But thank you for watching, and thank you to the teams for participating in this. All right, I have results for the final match. Here are your results. Trial and Error with 35 points. Plan B with 141. A lot of autonomous points. Very good. TaigaBots have 152 and RoboKnights 118.
What was the first two scores? I don't know. RoboKnights had 118. They're the only other team that had over 100 so far.
Awesome.
Some very nice tight scores. RoboKnights, of course, being super consistent.
Well, thank you, teams, for participating. This was awesome, and we found quite a few issues with our software that we need to fix. So this was a test run, and we're really thankful that you guys could participate and help us, find all those bugs and kinks in our software. And we're going to fix it, and then we'll be back with more tournaments. So I would say that concludes our, live stream on YouTube. I will shut down the stream now, and we can stay on Discord and discuss, what's next and whatever. Okay. Have a good day, and see you soon.
I'm probably gonna head out too. See you guys later.
See ya. Thank you for helping.